Good morning. Let's see what we got for today. September 30th, the last day of the month. Knowledge gives rise to wisdom. If you like, knowledge is the pump. Wisdom is the water that we get from the pump. If we can't obtain water, the pump is useless. At the same time, without knowledge, without the pump, we won't be able to obtain water. Let's get the day started. Good morning, welcome to Joe at 40. It's day 40 of Joe at 40, and I'm still out on my back porch. I'm really running late today because I had the worst meditation session ever. Basically, I couldn't stop thinking. And I think the reason why I couldn't stop thinking was this brown liquid that I drank before I meditated, which is always a bad idea. Do not drink coffee before you meditate, because then your brain is just... It's bad. Anyway, what was I thinking about? I was thinking about my future and what I'm doing with all of this. So basically, to try and be as concise as possible, the idea that was going through my head was, what am I going to do with what I'm doing here, with what I'm doing with my art, with what I'm doing with my photography, with what I'm doing with my computer business. So here it goes. This is when I should have been thinking of nothing, this is what I was thinking of. Number one, I've got to get my computer business on its own 2 feet. I've got to stop being the business. If the business has got to run by itself. If I'm not around, the business keeps running. And I continue to make money off the business. That's the way it should be. So I'm going to focus 100% on that, because that's step one. All while I'm still creating these things, because it's a skill I'm trying to learn. Why am I trying to learn this skill? Because I think it's going to parlay into the ultimate goal, but also it's something that I can use in my photography business and in my computer business. I can do weekly updates of what's going on in the tech world, just to give people a little bit of engagement, keep my business on people's minds, keep my customers engaged with me, so that they don't forget about me. When they have a problem, instead of trying to solve it themselves and wasting their time, they can call me and I can take care of it, regardless. So there's a skill to be learned from doing this, even though I feel like nobody's watching this right now. Doesn't matter. It's really more about how to make these things as quickly and efficiently as possible. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to use what I know about photography and whatnot to create decent videos. And during my vlog, I'll experiment around with things. How can I do something quickly and easily and make it sound good enough and visually appealing enough that it's, not distracting, and also eventually, nice to look at. But without losing focus on the message. The message is most important, and these are the things I'm learning from creating these daily vlogs. And then in photography-wise, I've really kind of started to build my own niche in headshots and kind of corporate photography, which sounds awful. It sounds very uncreative, but my passion is the face and the expression on the face. And that parlays into my art. If you give me a pen and a paper, I'm going to draw a face, most likely. Most likely, that's what I'm going to draw. Whether it's just some abstract thing or a realistic thing, it's going to be a picture of a face, more specifically of an expression. I'm trying to convey an emotion through facial gesture. So that's what I like to do. So why can't I figure out how to do that as a career? I'm 40. Why am I trying to think of other careers? But it's not really the point. The point is doing what excites you, what gets you going. And if you haven't noticed, I'm excited about this. So I also like to travel. So how can I put all this together? Well, here we go. If I've got my business running, and it's basically my insurance to make sure that my family's taken care of and my expenses are paid for, I can start focusing on taking pictures of people and using that photo as a reference to create a piece of art. And I also went so far as to think of the medium of the art and also the framing of the art. The total package of the art could be all inspired and related to the person that inspired me to make the art in the first place. So what does that mean? Like, let's say there is a person I find interesting, a coffee shop barista, and I say, listen, can you come to my studio, or can I come to you? I'm going to take a photo. I want to capture this emotion that I felt maybe when I met you, or yada yada yada. I want to capture this expression, and I take the photo, and once I get a photo that kind of gets me going, that goes, yeah, I really want to draw that, I will draw that, and maybe I can use elements of their of what makes them them. Doesn't necessarily have to be like coffee beans for a coffee barista. Maybe that person is really into woodworking, so maybe it might be some cool wood frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to capture the essence of the person, both artistically in the portrait as well as in the medium and the package of it. So yeah, that, I think, coming up with all that, and guess what? I could incorporate this and video it and make a little package of the creation of this art piece, and I think it would be interesting. That'd be something I'd want to watch, like the creative process of somebody, the interaction, what brought them there in the first place, and maybe you become interested in the subject as well, and you kind of become invested in it, and then finally the delivery of this piece. I think that would be an interesting thing to do. And it's very niche, it's got a very specific audience. It's not for everybody, of course. It'd probably be boring to most people who want to sit on a Saturday afternoon and watch football. Maybe not. I shouldn't judge. But, it's interesting to me, and I'm passionate about it. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to create a personal business plan, get all of my affairs in order so that I can go forward with that. What do you think? Sounds fun? Let's do this.
Good evening. How's it going? So I was just with a client at 6:30 on a Friday, and I was wrapping things up, and it was just at 5 o'clock, and one of the employees in there was still there. I was working on their server, and all of a sudden I hear coming from her office, "Oh no, I clicked on it." And I said, "What?" She said, "A fake invoice." Now, basically what that means is she clicked on ransomware. She clicked on a Word document that was basically a VBS script to install ransomware. So I immediately just pulled the power on her computer before I didn't even get, she's freaking out. I mean, if you saw what she was doing, the term spazzed out is what she came up with, and it was the perfect term, because she was flailing in her seat. She was like, "Wah!" And the thing hadn't even delivered its payload yet. She clicked on it, and it was like, I swear, she was in between double clicks, like, click, oh no, click. Like, it was just the strangest, reaction. She realized as soon as she did it, like, she clicked on the wrong thing. And, yeah. So we had to go and make sure that what was on there, that whatever tried to get on there was gone. We had to back up all our stuff, make sure everything was backed up on the whole network, just in case, because, I took the file and scanned it, and it doesn't show up as a virus yet because it's a 0-day infection. That's how they get you. They're constantly manipulating the code so that they can get through your firewall and through your antivirus software, and it's really annoying. And, I showed her, I'm like, look, this thing is basically invisible to the security software on the network. It just doesn't exist yet. Give it an hour, and all of a sudden the security software will flag it. So I went through the regular places where those things dumped their payload and wiped everything out as much as I could, scrubbed the computer as good as I could, but didn't take any kind of precautions. We backed everything up and backed that up. So if something happens to her in the next couple of days, at least we have good backups. But yeah, 5 o'clock. I know you didn't need all those details. I'm trying to be concise. But 5 o'clock on Friday, she does this. So an hour and a half later, I'm finally heading home. you could look at it like, hey, Joe, you're getting paid for that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but it's 5 o'clock on a Friday. I want to go home. My wife and I had plans to go to some office party thing for her office. And those got thrown out the door. So I think we might just go to a movie or something tonight. I don't know. I'll see what she feels like doing when I get home. But I am excited still about what we talked about earlier, and for you that was about a few seconds ago. I think I'm gonna pick a friend of mine and do like a preliminary, like video / portrait / drawing. And I don't want to let her know everything about it. I just want to say I'm going to take your picture, but I want to do a short interview and try to capture an expression. And then maybe I'll surprise. Well, what's the point? If I surprise her with the drawing, like if I do this going forward, the drawing will be part of it. So I got to think it through. But I think I'll pick a friend and do that for a friend and see how it goes. If I got something there. You know, we're gonna field test this. She's gonna be my sandbox, and we'll get something going. Anyway, I did sign up. I was able to sign up for the Worldwide Photo Walk, very last minute. That's tomorrow morning. So I think I'm going to put the XT2 to its paces. My challenge that I usually do on these photo walks is to pick one lens. Pick one lens, and that's what I'm shooting with. So I've got to figure out which lens I want it to be. Do I want it to be ultra wide? Do I want it to be a prime lens? Probably going to do a prime lens. See, 35 is my comfort zone for street photography. And I might just do that because it's a nice small lens, or I might do the 56, the portrait lens, and try to find random strangers and be like, can I just please take your portrait? Thank you. And do it like that way. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. I'll see what kind of day it is. If it's a bright, sunny day, it's going to be tough to do anything like that. Unless I can find some open shade. The other problem is it's Saturday morning and there's not a whole lot of people running around that I'd want to take a picture of. It's either tourists or other photo walkers. I don't want to take pictures of photo walkers. We'll see what we do. Maybe I'll go off the beaten path and find someone to talk to. Anyway, I will check back in with you later or tomorrow, depending on what is going on. I might not turn a camera on tonight. I might. The mystery will be solved now.